Hello and welcome back to the grind. Here I am with the 1963 Hillman SuperMinx and the dog right there. He's in here helping me check things out. Now, the this week, what were we doing? We put a dual circuit brake cylinder on the front here. This is the rear circuit, this is the front circuit. They seem to work, not 100%, but they seem to work. This is the new clutch master cylinder. It works very well. It came from Amazon. Both of those came from Amazon. So if I put a picture with the what they are from Amazon, and I built a bracket here to make it so that it would pull it out farther to make more room, and then I extended this rod that runs it off the brake pedal, and that seems to work. I still have some adjustment to do on the rod length, but for the most part I think we got it pretty close to right. Then new lines. This is all cut of course this one here goes right to the back, and I didn't make it quite long enough to go to here, right? But that's okay, because it's easier to split it here and put that little piece of pipe in there, because this thing here, this other thing's in the way right here. Blah 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 blah. Anyhow, so it worked out for the good. What else did I do this week? I think it was mostly brakes and stuff like that. There'll likely be other stuff, because I don't remember everything all the time. Then, I took it out for a ride. It went driving all the way out to the front yard and back. But I've only got third gear, fourth gear, and reverse. I haven't got first and second gear, and that's coming to a YouTube channel near you next week, perhaps. Figure out how to get the cover off that transmission and see if I can figure out what's going on with the gears. I think there's just something not right in there, but that's coming up soon. We'll figure it out. I won't take the cover off until I'll do a little bit more dicking around with it, see what I can figure out. Okay, anyhow, that's for next week. But for this week, actually some successes. Working brakes and a little drive in the car. It drives, it runs, it drives. Cool. Okay, so that's all for now, and I'll stick around. You'll see everything went on. Like, subscribe, tell all your friends, and see you later. Okay, here I am back again. Hillman SuperMinx, and we're back on clutch. So that's the original master cylinder right there, and it's leaking all over the inside of the car. So I went on Amazon. I've got this one here. Well, it looks similar. We'll just take it apart and see what the distance is here. The important distance is how far in this shaft goes. That has to match, otherwise you'll be crushing stuff inside here. But in the meantime, today a little bit late starting, so in the meantime I was there you go. That's a 100% snow removal machine there now. Okay, zoomed in, yeah. There we go. So the snow blower's on there, winter cab's on there, and the bucket's on there, but the bucket's always on there. Anyway, that's ready to go for the winter. And I leave it, I tip it up a bit especially before it freezes. That way it doesn't pick up as much gravel and spit the gravel everywhere. Anyway, there we go. So here's the new and the old. So the old, that's pushed in to the stopper on that. This one here is pushed into the stopper on that, and you can see that it's that much more. But this is adjustable, so I might be able to make this adjust in far enough to make the right distance here. We'll see. Or this one here, it needs a bit more rod on it. Maybe I can make that adjustable, but then this spring has to go over it, right? Okay, well, I'll sort it out here. That shoulder right here to the hole in, well, you can't see that very well, can you? You can't see it at all. There, to that hole there, and that's 87 millimeters to the center of the hole. Right now I'm at 70 on this one, so either I have to make this a longer shaft, which I can do, and just put a more, like, weld more shaft on there, or else change that to fit in here. But this has got, it's like a different setup here, which wouldn't hurt my feelings to change it, because it's got that thing there that holds it in tight. Anyway, I'll see what I can come up with here. I decided to go with oh, what am I doing? Using this part here instead of trying to make that one length. This one here is adjustable, so I'll cut off a piece of here. Right now it's from there to there, it's 114 millimeters. Yeah, 114 millimeters. And so if I'll cut off a piece here, that's, what's that to be, 87 is 13 plus 14 is 27, right? So I'll cut off a piece 27 millimeters long, round it off, and that'll be just a plug-in thing there, and it should work. Famous last words. We'll see. So there, I've cut that off and rounded this end off, so that'll sit like that, right? And then from that shoulder to the center of the hole is, lo and behold, 87 millimeters. Well, that's, so now that should just plug and play, we hope. Now, it's a real pain. I cleaned off this pin, got a new split pin for it, right? Cleaned off this pin so it'll go through there easily, and this thing here has to go up against the firewall of the car and be pressed in, and then up against the clutch pedal. So it's a pain in the ass, but I'll try and show you how it is in there. See if I can get the camera somewhere where you can see, and I can see, and everything can see. Hey. This is where it's got to go in, up in here. Now you see here, there's the brake one here, and there's the pin that goes through, which is that pin there, and then the block comes out and hits in here. But that spring, see how the spring, I don't know if you can see that in there. See, the spring goes up and against the firewall. That's where that's got to go. So first off, let me see if I can put you here. Can you see any of that? Yeah. First off, you got to sort of get this whole arrangement in there between the clutch and the firewall. Need kind of 5 hands that I don't have, and you have to contort yourself in such a way that you can get into there without the light shining in your eye too bad. Ay, ay, ay. Well, I'm gonna have to fuss with that for a while, I guess. Here's what I did. Okay, I got the pin in there. Now I have to get the split pin in there, which I think I can do, and the washer on it, which will be a challenge also. Anyhow, to get the pin in, I had this hooky thing and put it in the hole and pushed that forward till it was, you know, sort of close. Then I took this screwdriver and went on the back of the pedal and jammed it up so that it was holding it at that position. And lo and behold, don't you know, it worked. So that's good. Okay, now I just want to make sure that this thing is actually, I'm going to put the, it's got a clutch holder here. Like this thing here is a clutch holder. So I'm going to put that out and then I'll go and check and see that the piece is actually coming through there. Eh? Yeah, so let me see, I'll get you zoomed in here. Can you see down there that little bit of a, it's protruding through there, so that's the right thing. So what I'll do is I'll see if I can get the split pin on it and that all together on the inside of the car, and then I'll see about getting this outside stuff done. The fortunately, like these holes on the side here, like it's exact, like an exact match, even this little bit of a indent there, so it's sort of a copy of or something, I'm sure. Anyway, we'll keep at it. Yeah, so here's the brake cylinder and the clutch cylinder, master cylinders that I got from Amazon. Numbers and everything are there if you want to take a look for them. It fits. The only thing that's a little bit tight against this, but I'm going to be replacing this down in the near future, maybe tomorrow. So I've got I just loosened it off so I can get and the only thing is, the only tightness is the roof, the cover on it. But that will also fit on my whatever you call that thing, pressure bleeder. Might just fit on there, and I'll bleed out the bottom. But first off, I want to make a slight change on the bottom one there to make the shaft on it a little bit longer so that it doesn't push right out the end of it. Now I'm going to try that, and if it's wrong, I'll undo it. But that's pretty easy to do. I'll just take the shaft off, and I saved. This is off the bit that I cut off. Where did I put it? Somewhere very special and safe, right? Yeah, here's the bit that I cut off the other one, so I can then add this to the end of the shaft, just weld it on, which means I have to go get my welding gas out of the car. Yep, that'll be something I've been putting off for days and days. But I'll weld it on and I'll see what I can come up with. Yeah, here's a slave cylinder, right, with some drippage happening. I don't know why. We'll figure that out soon. But right up in here, the shaft goes over there to the clutch, and I'm just going to make that slightly longer so that it doesn't push out quite so far. And that would be, if I cut this one right where the white line is, then that will make it about that much longer, which is just enough to keep that inner bit from protruding outside the like the inner bit was, I don't know if you remember from quite a while ago when I pushed on the clutch, the whole mechanism came out of the slave cylinder, and I don't think it should go that far, so I'm going to just get this done. Yeah, so now here I am. I've got that cut there, and this thing here, I tapered the end of it. I don't know, can you see that? I just took it and stuck it in a drill and took it over to the grinder and tapered the end of it so there'll be an area to fill here with weld. But first, I've just clamped it onto this piece of angle here so that I know that it's going to be not a crooked thing, right? So I'll tack that there, and then I'll take it off and weld it around. Yeah, so that's welded around there. It's a little bit ragged here because that was where it was corroded from before, but now I'll just grind that off and make it smooth. I could fill that up with weld in there, but I don't think I will because I think we're okay. Yeah, so I just loaded it into the chuck of the drill and held it up against the headed in the drill, and then held it against that and let it go as it was turning. Both of them were turning, and like it never happened, hey? Anyway, I'll put this on, see if I've got too much there. If I have too much, it's easy to cut it down and make it less, right? I want to be looking at that right there. Yeah, so that's, you watch and see if that moves. That's it. Yeah, that looked like it was moving. I'll get the motor started here another time and check and make sure. But I also have to adjust the linkage on the... Whoa, you're right up there, eh? Adjust the linkage on the gear shift. That this cable here is here at this end, but it's not hooked on the other end. So that needs to be hooked on the other end. But it's 5 o'clock, so likely that'll be a tomorrow thing. And tomorrow I might get a new master brake cylinder, and that might solve the brake problem, might not. We'll wait and see. Yeah, so see you tomorrow. Bye for now. Yeah, another day. Buster and I are out here today. He's just hanging around. So now, the Amazon guys came along and delivered these, which are, they fit fine. They're 3/8 24 thread, right? This top, like I thought it'd be a 3/8 inch wrench, but no, it's a 10 millimeter wrench goes on there. That's, oh, what the hell, hey? Anyway, I put one of those in the back wheel where it was missing one, so there's stoppers in every wheel. And then, meanwhile, this came too also. So I'll see what I can do about getting this shoehorned in there somehow or other. Don't know yet how, but we'll work on it. Vacation. Well, there, I bet you didn't get that. It may require some modification. Anyway, there's, I wanted to sit about, I wanted to sit about there, which is that far out from the wall. Now I'll change the length of that rod to make it right, and then I'll also build a little bit of a bracket to go on here, so it'll come out here this far. I also might have to take some of this bottom, shave some of this bottom off, so that the hole will sit in the center of that thing there. Okay, I guess we'll start building a box of some sort. Hang on, we'll get at it. Yeah, so I built that little piece of metal there out of 16 gauge and drilled those holes through there, so that'll be where it mounts on. Now I'll build walls on that, but first I'm gonna tack those bolts on there so that they're captured on the inside of that, and that'll be where this bolts onto, and then I'll see about getting it bolted onto the car somehow. There's a bit of a bracket I'm making for to hold it. Now I made it in pieces like this because I want to be able to get into into there to be able to tighten the bolts on here. Like these bolts will be coming through this from the wall, and then that goes on. So, and then I've got this drill in here just to, you know, make sure that I've got it straight, eh? A straight line across there, which it is right now. So that, I'm just going to weld that bit on there more permanently. Whoops, I'll weld that on there more permanently and get it off of this so I don't melt that stuff. And take that off there so I don't get on fire. So I'll do some more welding on it. I think that's pretty good. I think it's, well, I know it's solid enough. It's welded up good. So the, you can, like, it's a bit oblong because the way that the centers work, this one here has got a larger diameter hole in it, so it's got to sit lower and come up against that thing there, which has to sit higher to make that center work on straight through. So the holes are straight through, but it goes this way and angles, like this angles that way and that angles that way. So we should be strong enough. If not, if it isn't strong enough, I'll take it off and make it stronger. And that's just a matter of putting some plate on here and put some plate on each side of it to strengthen it. But I think, I'm pretty sure it's more than strong enough there now. It's 16 gauge and welded, right? But I'll clean that up tomorrow and make it. It sure looks ugly now, but I'll make it try to make it look a bit better tomorrow. Because it's quitting time today. Anyway, there we go. See ya tomorrow. Yeah, so this thing here, I'm just about ready to go in, but I was just checking this. These little white things are for bench bleeding it. But as far as the size goes, this is 10 millimeter fittings. Come on out there. Yeah, so 10 millimeter fittings. As near as I can tell, yeah, they go in and they fit solid, and they're double flare on the inside of it. So I don't know. You see down there? That's like a double flare fitting in there. So that'll be another difference. So at the very back of the car is double flare, right? At the very front of the car where the thing is, here will be double flare, and everything else is bubble flare. Cool. Yeah, can you see any of this stuff in here? There's the extension for the brake stuff. Now I had to just cut this bolt off here so that I'd be able to get everything on there the way I want it to, and I had to make a little bit of a divot in that so that it'll fit around this thing. But that everything should go together there now. Well, should, famous last words, we'll see. Now there's the rod that comes out of it in there. Can you see that? Right by my finger there. That's the rod that comes off the brake shoe, or the brake pedal. Brake shoe. What do I know? Not very much. Now, here's a new piece of rod that'll go in there, and I'll make this thing here, I'll make it so it fits on there, and then this fits tight on the other side. I'll just use it as I'll just slide it on there and see how it looks, see how it feels. And in the future, if it all works, I'll take that apart in the future and weld this together again. Okay, bench bleed this thing, and it gives you these little plastic inserts here to do it with. So I just filled it up to the minimum line and loosen these back a tiny bit, one at a time. Put it in the vise and then just press on the brake. See how that's gonna come through there? A little bit of fluid coming through. All the air is gone now. So, and all the air is gone out of that one. So that's dual. Now, the largest cylinder, this is the front one's the larger type cylinder, that usually goes to the front brakes, and the smaller cylinder goes to the back brakes. So this side here goes front, and this side here goes back. We'll just see what happens here. Get off and painted it, and then I also cut these nuts down a little bit so that it would fit, make it easier to fit in there. And what else did I do? I don't know. That's it. So it's got to go back on there. That piece there is approximately right length. and it goes right on, like it slides on there, and that'll come out the center. The other thing mounts to these two bolts. Whoops, these two bolts here. So we're going to put some light on here, eh? Light keeps falling down, right? That goes on there like that. And the pressure will hold that on there. But once I get everything working right, I'll take this all apart and well, I'll take it apart from the inside there if it's right, and weld this thing together so that it's forever. Then what else is going on? That's about all, right? Okay, I'll let the paint dry. I'm waiting for paint to dry. Here's the brake thing. Here's this bit that goes on in here, right? Extension for the pole. Now I should bring that. I'll find a way to hold that up. Hang on a minute. There, I just got a little bolt holding it. See if we can get this to come together here. Oops, don't fall over. This one on first. Then the other one's going there. How's that? Yeah. Whoops, sorry. I think we're okay. I think we're looking in the right kind of place there. That seems to be holding up all right. Huh. I'll be. Don't you know? That seems to work. Okay, let me get the nuts on there. See if I can just put you right here. Hang on, I'm going to get some lock washers for that. Now, see if I can put some lock washers on. Right, there's one. The bottom one will be challenge. Everything's a challenge. There. So now, just a matter of hooking up the brake lines and see if they give any action from the brakes. Everything seems to be there okay. I'm going to just press on the brake with my hand. You can tell me if that thing moves. First off, I have to make a line that goes from there to about here. Something like that right there. I'll tie those together. And that keeps it out of, on the other side there, it keeps it out of the steering mechanisms. So this is a bubble flare, and that's a double flare down here. So I'll make a line, see if I can fit it in there. Okay, there. Now I've got this line comes down here, and this line comes in here. I'll wipe them all off and just see if they're leaking anywhere. And I'll check and see if my power bleeder fits on that. I'm not sure if it does or not. Hang on. Well, now it's time to see if it's got a brake pedal or what goes on here. We'll find out in a second. Hang on. I'll get into my bucket seat here and press the brake. So I went underneath and I just sort of drained some oil, some fluid out of it. I can't. I have to move my bucket seat a bit here. There. Looks like I have to do bleeding the old-fashioned way again, but like it. So I'll have to get Gus to come over and help out. All hooked together, and I've bled and bled and bled. I'm pretty sure all the air is out of the system, but you know, you can never be 100% sure until the brakes really start working right. But I'm beginning, I've been pump on them, right? And I'm beginning to think I don't have enough travel on the, like I don't have that shaft long enough. So I'm gonna see if I can go and pull out that shaft that I have, add another, let's randomly say 10 millimeters to it, and see if I make any difference on the brakes. But I'll be able to do that. I'll be able to pull this whole assembly out without, you know, without unhooking brake lines. So I won't lose any. It'll be, what can I say? How do I say it? It'll be a closed system, right? Okay. Yeah, so I've got, this is the part that comes out of the car. I've got that whole brake assembly pulled away from there. Pulled away pretty easily. That's a bonus. Then this is like a piece of angle there so that the two rods will get straight together. Then like I put a long piece on here and then I'll cut it off 10 millimeters out or so. Okay, hang on. Yeah, so I'll just tack that one there right away. Now I can pull it. Now I can pull it off of this assembly and get it welded right around. Okay, 1 second though. Give me a minute. Yeah, okay, here now. I've got it welded on the other side. I'm just going to finish it off on this side here. That should do it. And then I'll put it in a drill. I'll put it in chuck it into a drill and run it on the whatever you call that thing, the grinder, and smooth that out. Yeah, so there I made it, and I added a 20 millimeters to it here because, you know, you can always take some off, but it's pretty tough to put more back on. So I'll try that out and see if it works, and if it works, we'll be happy. So that was the answer there. I had not enough of this pipe or that pusher on it, but now I've got too much because when, you know, it just tight and solid. I've let it out a bunch here, and now I think I'll take 10 millimeters off of it and see how things work on that. Yep, there's a real solid brake pedal there now. Oh, there's my, I was checking to see if I got brakes to the back wheel. I'll hook up the, like I'll put it in gear and unlock the door, right? But now, I don't know if you can see down here, but it used to be the floor, it would go right to the floor, but it stops right there, solid pedal. That's So I might still have a little bit too long of a shaft on it, but I'm going to leave it be for now because I think we're okay. We'll see if the brakes are dragging an awful lot. If they are, I'll just shave off a little bit more of that shaft. Isn't that something? So that was likely what I had wrong with the other one, with the original brake cylinder. I'm pretty sure that that original brake cylinder was okay, and I just didn't have a long enough shaft on that, and that was creating a world of hurt on it. Anyhow, but it doesn't hurt my feelings to put a dual circuit brake system on it. So if the front end goes, then the back end still works. So that's a done deal there now. Good. I'll tidy it up, and so the clutch is good. And yeah, it's full of fluid. So it's got fluid up to right about halfway between minimum and maximum. So that's okay there. It doesn't seem to be leaking anywhere, as far as I can tell. I'll check that out. If it was leaking, the pedal would go down. So there you go. So hey, I'm happy with that. Yay, a win. I needed a win today because it's 4:45 and time for a win. So can you see in here, this is the gear shift adjustment, and see that, well, you can see that cable there is supposed to go into this thing here, but not connected. Anyhow, so at the other end of the car, let me get around here. I've been adjusting it to give it more cable out, but don't you know, as usual, I'm going backwards. So I think I'm just going cable in. So we'll just go the other way. This part here, this is the adjustment right here, right? So we've got to turn this way back. See what happens here. If I get more cable at the other end, I'll show you when I get it figured here. Hang on. There, I moved it along quite a ways there. Hopefully it's pushed it out the other end a bit, so I've got some cable to work with at the other end. We'll see what happens here. Oh, well, everything in here is, you know, at least they've got inspection panels. Doesn't look like there's more cable there. Oh yeah, there's more cable there now. Maybe I can get it into that. So it's got to go through that hole there, which I can see, this hole right here. The cable's got to go through that, and then tighten it down, and then adjust it. So if I can get it to line up and go through that hole, I'd be a happy guy. So I'll fuss with that a bit. Yeah, very lucky I got that cable through there, and I tightened that bolt, held on to the other end with a whatever you call that, pair of vice grips, and tightened the bolt nut up, and it seems to be that the cable's in there now. Now I'll readjust that on the other side here to around the middle, then just see if it, see how it works. If it works. So cable adjusted all the way that way. The only thing I can get is reverse, otherwise it's locked out of everything. So I'll adjust it all the way the other way and see what happens. Okay, now this wire here, this is the reverse light wire, which is going through there. It shouldn't be going through there, it should be going through over here somewhere. So I'll fix all that. Anyway, that being said, I've got it adjusted all the way it can go here. I think the cable must have been suspect, maybe broke or something, or short, or I don't know. Anyhow, but now I haven't tried it yet, but we'll see what happens. Last time I was in here, I had it adjusted a lot of the way, but oh yeah, the light comes off here. Yeah, we'll get a light up here. Right. Now you watch that. Here's how the gears work. Wait. Oh, I have to get adjusted here. I'm not comfortable at all. My bucket seat is way out. There. That's a better bucket seat. Okay, I got the clutch in. I'm gonna just set you right here. Can you see that gear there? Yeah, you can see that. Not great light. So when I pull up, there's neutral, right? See how that moves? So all the way down and like that, this gear over here moves, gives me reverse. All the way up like that should be first and second. Then right there should be third and fourth. And then push down and like that should be reverse. Because it comes up against a block when you try and do it otherwise. So I think I've got first gear now, right here. Should be first gear, second gear. That should be third gear, fourth gear. And that should be reverse. But we'll check it out on the, I'll lift it up tomorrow and start it up and see what happens with gears in it. Oops, sorry, you're just right in my nose there, eh? Sorry about that. So that's enough for today anyhow. Quitting time. But you know, happily I have a brake pedal. Did I show you that? I'll show you it. Here, hang on. With light. If I can turn on the light. There. See that? So it goes down that far and it's got hard brake. So I'm good with that. I could likely shave off another 5 millimeters of that thing and it would still be okay. But we'll just see. Did you see that? Yeah, you saw that. Anyway, lots of light leakage on this. I think I have dirty lenses everywhere. Yeah, I do. Look at all that oil up there. Oh dear, oh dear. Okay, here I am back for another go at it. Now where am I? So I've got brakes, I think. I've got gear shift working, I think. I definitely have a motor that works, or did last week, or last time it was running. And if I put wheels on there, might be able to take it for a spin. But I'll put the wheels on, I'll check and see about if the brakes work on the back, and then I'll also check and see if I have all the gears. So that'd be interesting. Where's that coming from? Right here. Must be something that I just built there, eh? Oil drip was here, which is right here, and that's, yeah, I definitely got a little bit of a leak on that pinion gear there. I don't know if you can see all that. Not very bright in here. Anyway, I did go and tied up anything like this is the handbrake cable. I just tied it up out of the way. Over here, over there. Wiped off all of the fittings for the brakes to see if they leak. And up on the front too, wiped them all off. Tied this thing here just up out of the way a little bit. That's a very, very strong thing to tie it to. It's about ready to fall off, but that'll be fine. Now, what I want to do now, I've emptied this out and wiped it out. I'm going to drain, well, not drain, I'll bring the car down and I'll show you what I'm going to do. Back down on its wheels all around. Now I'm going to take this hose off and take that hose off and put new hose, and first off I'll undo this plug and that'll let water drain out of there and might catch some of it. Then I'll take that hose off and that hose off and I'll put the proper thing in here, which I've got somewhere over here. We hope it's the proper thing anyhow. That right there. Okay, I'll get that under control here. Oh, it's a good day when the neighbors bring cookies, eh? So anyhow, Helen and her daughter Emily were here and brought cookies. That's fun. But here, that's on to the important stuff now. Well, cookies are important. So now I've got that put in there. I put a copper washer underneath it. And can you see that, or is there enough light, or what's going on here? I can't see it. It's too dark. Yeah, that's in there now. with a copper washer underneath it, and I put like pipe rope on it, thread sealer. This one here I've got off of there. That one there is going to be a challenge, but that's what we'll do now. Get that off, and then I'll put new. I've got new hose, so I'll put new hose to it. Put a bit of gas down the throttle, and oh, that's turned on, so that's good. This has got electricity everywhere. Yep, looks like it. No, it doesn't. It's not going to go. That's not hooked up. That's hooked up. Now, let's just see if it'll start. I'm going to go and try and start it in the cab here and see what happens. Just for fun. Oh, haven't never done this before. Oh, I understand why I haven't either. So, key on, yeah. Have a fuel pedal. Give it a bit of choke, maybe. Huh. Wonder what I've done wrong. I'll check it out. So, did the eagle-eyed amongst you notice that the coil wire wasn't on it? Charging because it's upside down. Let it warm up for a few minutes. Filled up with smoke in here pretty quick. Anyway, that's all right. I meant to check and see if the wheels are going to turn, but I guess we'll find out when we run it. I know for sure it's got reverse. Get all these things out of the way. I shouldn't have put this down yet because I wanted to check the water. Nothing moving yet. Lots and lots of water there. Doesn't look like anything's leaking. Okay, it'll be a few minutes warming up. That may be your view for the ride. We'll just see how things work out. Okay, let's see what happens. that's third gear. And a great ride it was. I'll let it sit for a bit, think about it. Well, that was interesting. That's as far as it got. Okay. So, the gear shift doesn't work quite right. The gear shift doesn't work quite right. I think I said that here 3 minutes in. Anyway, that's interesting, isn't it? I'll see if I get it to start up in a minute or two. It does. Sometimes it just doesn't like to start, right? But I'll just let it set for a minute or two. Cool. It did something. The reverse works all right. Just now getting first gear into it somehow or other. Well, we're back to running and might have first gear there. Well, I'm pretty sure that's third gear, but it sure does pull away all right. Right up the hill. See if I can find first gear. Hang on, I gotta shut you off. Oh, that thing there is for the flashers. That's cool. Oh, okay. So I'm gonna go back in reverse because it'll go in reverse really well. Okay, I have to figure out how to get it into first gear. The brakes are getting better. Okay, now I'll put it into some forward gear. See if I can get it back in the garage. High-speed trip to the garage. There you go. Temperature come up to normal, and stuff like that. Oh dear, that was quite a ride. Hey, a ride on the, that was a real wild ride. Anyway, it runs and it turns and the gears work, some of them. I'll have to figure that out for the first gear and second gear. Have to be a little bit thinking about that one. I'll put the door down and we're back into, I think some things are achieved. I wonder if the brake lights work. Let me just turn it, check that out. Check and see if the brake lights work. Okay, here we are. Now I should be able to see them on the back wall if they do work. Can't really tell, can you? Might have to get out of the car and do it. Oh yeah, they work. Look at that, brake lights work. I'm gonna put you at the back here and see if both of them work. Okay, so there. Can you see both those lights? Yeah, one there, one there. Yeah, one here, one there. Okay, see if the brake lights come on. Brake light, brake light, brake light, brake light, brake light, brake light, brake light. Anything? Anyhow, what do you think? Do they work? Both of them? Okay, there, that's all for now. Yeah, so first little spin, the clutch feels nice. The clutch, it actually, like, I don't think it slips or anything like that. The gear shift mechanism is in need of more adjustment. I don't know if some of this stuff here is loose. But I'll do some work on it. Like this thing here, that's the up and down bit, right? Which works, no problem. This part here makes it go into it's a selector for all the gears. But I have to figure out how to make that pull more up, or else it's not, there's jammed or something. That's going to take some ciphering and thinking. So I'll do some ciphering and thinking on it, and I'll show you how I make out. Otherwise, the brakes work. They don't work great, but they work. I'm curious to see how much rust came off of the drums. Can't really tell in here. Have to take a wheel off to see that. Hey, maybe you can see through there. I can't even reach it. No, can't reach it. But I think that they came up. They might have come a bit cleaner now. The back drums, the back brakes, I don't think they were working too awful well, but they could use some, like, you have to get them centered, a little bit of use to get them centered in. And I think there's still some air in the lines somewhere, so I'll go back to the old bleeding business, which we can do next time Gus comes over. I'll bleed them, but for now they work, so it will stop, which is, you know, and the brake lights work, so the brakes must work if the brake lights work. Signal works on this side, signal doesn't work on that side, or it didn't. I haven't checked it today. You never know what'll happen. So what I'll do now is I'll see if I can get action out of that transmission and get 4 gears working. There we go, running again. Now I did some adjustment. I found another adjustment up here. Hopefully it's got enough to make it. I mean the first gear. Here, you watch. See if the wheel spins at different rates. take some more figuring around there. Yeah, so, well, here I am, yeah. Back up in the air, right? Maybe I'll turn that off for a while, just in case. So I took the wheel off here, and I took the wheel off the back. This one, see, it's starting to wear all that stuff off, but I don't know that it's, I think it's only pulling on this side. I'm not really sure what's going on. And I do believe I've developed a leak in the radiator. Well, not developed a leak, I believe there is a leak in the radiator, you see right down here. So that's interesting. Have to get that fixed somehow, or else put another radiator in it, or you know, whatever. I'll figure it out. This wheel here I haven't taken off yet, but on the back side I did, and I'm going to go and see if I can adjust that brake in there. Oh, bunch of reaching to get what I want. Okay, I'll see if I can adjust the brake. There, you see that right in there? Can you see? Where is it? Oh yeah, right there. See that screw there? That adjusts the brakes. So I'll turn it one way and the other, and then I'll report back. Okay, there, and that's adjusted up, and I think it was working because the inside of the drum had a little bit of wear on it. Anyway, now I'll go the other side and take it off and have a look over there and see what's going on. Yeah, so I just reached in with a screwdriver. I tightened it until you couldn't move it, then loosened it back one click, and that seems to be where it's supposed to be. This one drags a bit more than that side, but we'll live with that until, well, new brake shoes are going to come here one of these days, as soon as the mail strikes. Yeah, so this side here scraped off a bit more of the disc. Now, I won't fuss with them until such time as I get that disc gets scraped off a bit, or maybe I should take it all apart and grind that. I can grind that down, and that would make it happier. We'll see. Okay, but I won't do it right now. I just wanted to check and see what happened here, but you can see where there's some wear happening right there, going down to the proper finish. Oh, now here I was thinking about just dropping the transmission on it, but looks like the transmission is bolted to the bell housing from the inside, so you have to take the bell housing and clutch bell housing out and everything, which I guess isn't that bad an idea. I think I can do that. Have a look here. I don't know what that item up there is. Oh, it's a spring for something. It's a spring. I wonder what that spring is for. Well, that's the Bendex for the starter up there. Maybe I'll put a bit of oil on that. Looks like I could use some. And then these are the connections. That's a connection up here for this one for the gear shift, and it pivots on this thing here. All fairly loose, but before I pull the transmission, I might be able to take the top cover off, and see what's going on in there, or just play around with it a bit more until I see if I can get more adjustment on this cable here. Is this one is what makes it go to first gear, but it won't go up there yet. Don't know why. Don't know why. Maybe that's why they had the cable out of it, was to see if it would go. But I'm gonna go and look at the book, figure that out, where first gear should be, because maybe I'm looking in the wrong spot for first gear, right? Who knows? Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. So I got the book out, right? And here it's 1 is all the way towards the steering wheel and up. 2 is all the way towards the steering wheel and down. 3 is 1 click down and same position as first. 4 is 1 click down, same position as second, and reverse is push forward. So I was looking for it in the right spot. So I think what I'll have to do is take the cover off the transmission and see what's going on there, because something, or maybe if I unhooked that, like they had it unhooked, that thing. I wonder if it has to be shifted higher, or I wonder if there's a bushing or bearing gone on inside there. Could be all of the above or both of the above. Maybe I'll just take it, I can take that shaft off of it. Anyhow, that'll be for next time, I think. This time here, I think I'll close it off here. Actually, some success. We have marginal brakes, right? That's good. We have a leaking radiator. That's, you know, that's good. What else? We have an electric system that works, brake lights that work. That's cool. It's charging, the battery charges when we're running. That's cool. So actually it's and the wheels are all on it now, and the front, you know, all the brakes are in, the wheels are on. I'm waiting for brake shoes to come. They're coming. So anyhow, not a bad week this week. I thought I might get it running and just sort of get it out of here this week, but no, that's not going to happen until I get 4 gears going, and we had a little drive in it, so that's all right. Okay, so hope you enjoyed it all for now, and I'll be back on that transmission trying to figure out how to make that work. Okay, bye for now. Yeah, that's still going pretty fast, but in there the transmission says, yeah, that's 4th gear, 3rd gear, 4th gear. Hang on, thought I had it. I think I've got it figured here. Oh, the blinker light's going on this side. It's spinning pretty fast there, but the speedometer says we're going, you know, 1st gear speed. So if I click it into, it'll fall out of 1st gear, right? That might be 3rd now. Yeah, so that's definitely going a lot faster. So I found 1st gear, and so I don't have to take the top off the transmission. I just have to figure out how to get it to adjust right. Okay, a little bit of an addendum there to the end of it all. So that's good news. But I have to figure out how to make that cable just a bit longer, or make it so it pushes a bit farther. That'll be coming up next week. Okay, bye for now. Yeah, so it's December 1st already. The year goes by pretty quickly around here. And it's a nice sunny day today. Cold, a little bit windy, but the sun is shining, so that makes a nice day. And it looks like cold enough that there's a skip of ice on the pond. And high tide, or high-ish tide. Breeze blowing. Anyway, see you later.